Hi yogis, and thanks for joining us. I'm Isabel, and I got my beautiful husband Anthony demoing for us today. We're gonna work a little bit into twists. This is a flow class. Grab yourself a brick or something that resembles a yoga brick. Anthony's already sitting on one at the moment. We're actually gonna start in a cross-legged position today. So if you can also grab a brick or like a book, like a big book, like a big dictionary or a Harry Potter book, and just if you want, you can sit it onto your sitting bones. Let's come to a cross-legged position. So as an intent for today's practice is to keep feeling and finding ease. And a nice way of starting with that is with the breath. So just take a moment to close your eyes and just feel the body. And then just notice your natural breath. Notice how it moves through the nostrils, how it fills the body, fills the inner space, and then how it leaves again. And then start to deepen your breath. If you're familiar with Ujjayi breath, you can start to bring that in. But even though with Ujjayi breath, though we drive the breath a little bit more, still start to find that sense of ease within. Now with Ujjayi breath, it's a little bit more in the upper part of the torso. But I want you to keep exploring in these twists. There will be some moments where we often work with compression, especially in these kind of twists where there's a bit more compression of your abdominals or maybe even of your diaphragm a little bit. It's just to feel where can you move the breath to, and actually using your awareness and feeling to move that breath into different parts of the body so we can keep staying with that intention of feeling and finding ease. So just here, whilst you're sitting in a cross-legged position, just explore with that breath, moving around the body. So maybe you can feel how it fills your side ribs. Maybe you can send it all the way into the back of the ribs. You might even feel that you can move the breath a little bit further down into the belly area, and maybe into the lower back. So we're not just rigid with holding our core. And I think we often have a tendency with just pulling the belly in. But actually we want to find ways of engaging there and creating space at the same time. So it doesn't always have to grip there. So take a moment just to let your breath whirl around your inner body. Notice what you feel. Notice the tense places. Notice the areas where maybe there's a bit of gripping going on. Using your breath to bring in some ease into that area. Now cross your arms over your chest. Right, just have your hands on opposite shoulders there. Take a deep inhale, expanding ribs. Then on your exhale, twisting towards the right side. Now really twisting just from the center. And just see however far you can twist, and then you can stop there. So it's not about creating the world's biggest twist here. We're just exploring the space we have to twist from our center. So keep both sitting bones grounding down. You might explore breathing a little bit more into the sides of your abdominals, into your waist, into your lower back, into the side ribs. You might feel that you can go a little bit further if you pull the belly in a little bit more. Take another deep inhale, and on your exhale, untwist, come back to center. Take another deep inhale, spread your ribs. Exhale, twisting towards the left. And just feeling that twist happening from your center, feel that space. Now you don't have your arms to pull you around a bit further. So really just explore the space you have there in your center, and explore where you can move your breath to. And you can bring it into your lower back or into the side ribs. You might feel on the exhale, you can pull the belly in a little bit. Find a bit more space. On your exhale, untwist back to center. Take an inhale just to find a bit more length through your spine. On your exhale, tilt the spine towards the right side. So it go up and over, creating a little bit of an arc to the left side. A bit of a lean towards the right. Now keep sending that left sitting bone down. So extra bit of effort to plant your left sitting bone down to the ground and to spread the breath through the left side of your abdominals, of your waist, left side of the ribs. Press down to the sitting bones even more so. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, tilting over to your left. Go up and over. We're opening the right side of the ribs. We can relax the neck as you see Anthony is doing. He lets his right ear move away from his right shoulder, creating space around that right shoulder. Still feeling the ground underneath him. Press down to sitting bones. On your inhale, lift all the way back up. Release your arms and then find your way into a downward facing dog. You might need to move the brick. I'll do that for you, Anthony. Right. So we're just going to come to a downward facing dog and just take a moment to get a little bit more comfortable in your downward dog. So that might mean have a little bit of a walk through your legs, especially if you've been sitting down a lot. It might be nice just to warm up your feet a little bit, warming up into your ankle joints, your legs, your hips. You might feel like you even want to wiggle the hips a little bit. Also just checking in really how the body is doing. And actually that's what we want to do in our practice, sort of see where the body is at each given moment. Press down through the fingertips. Maybe you can hug your forearms in a little bit. So you're feeling a little bit of an attraction between your inner wrists and your forearms. And at the same time planting the fingers down to create a little bit more length there to the spine. If you have any kind of lower back issues, if it's a bit tight, for example, or a bit of tightness in the hamstrings, you can bend your knees a little bit as Anthony is showing. You might feel that you get a bit more space to lengthen through the spine. Great. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then from there, can you send your right leg up and back into a three-legged dog? Keep that deep breath going. Now keep your hips level for this first three-legged dog. The right leg is reaching back. And if you can flex the right foot like Anthony's doing, and then feel like there's a wall behind you, or imagine a wall behind you, or a person behind you, you're going to press against that wall. Pressing the hands down. Now feel the left upper thigh pushing back. Right. On your exhale, drag your right knee in towards your chest and take a giant step forward. You're going to come to a lunge. So we're going to press the right heel down, engaging the glutes, and then lift all the way up into a high lunge. The arms can go all the way up by your ears. Find that wrapping of the shoulders. With that, I mean the outer armpits wrap around towards the front. You can take the arms a bit wider if that feels nicer for your shoulders, if it gives you a bit more space. Keep sending your right thigh forward. And if you want, you can reach the back heel a little bit further back. Right. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. And then step into plank. Bringing your shoulders over your wrists. So you want to feel that the heart is moving forward. Action going forward. And at the same time, feel your heels reaching back, feel your sitting bones reaching back. Firing up the core here, so really you get this overall body strength here in your plank. Now for the first one, let's bring the knees down to the floor, but keep that activation in your center. Take an inhale, move your heart a bit further forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, chaturanga, elbows squeezing in, and just lay down onto your belly here. We're going to start with just a little bit of arching of a baby cobra. So if you bring the front of the feet down to the floor and then press the front of the feet down, feel the tops of the thighs lifting up. Right. Then bring your hands a little bit further out in front of you, Anthony. So creating a little bit more space for even further. Go a bit further. Great. Then take an inhale and come up to a low cobra. So you're just going to lift the chest up. Great. Now keep feeling that the feet press down. The top of the thighs lift. You feel your sitting bones dragging back. And you feel your ribs moving forward. I'm just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Keep moving your heart forward. And you want to feel like you're decompressing the lower back. So it's not about the biggest arch here. Biggest back bend, it's about creating space, a bit of pulling with the arms. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, lower back down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, roll the shoulders away from the ground. Inhale. Exhale, move back into your downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, left leg up, keeping the hips in level here. Right, press down to your hands, wrap the shoulders. You feel that reach back from your left thigh through your left ankle. Maybe imagine that you're pushing a wall back or a person back. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, drag your left knee in towards chest and then step your left foot forward. Of course, you can use your hands. You can take a couple of steps just to get the foot there. Press down through your left heel. Fire up the glutes. Lift up into your lunge. Arms up. Wrap the shoulders. Press down through that front leg. Feel your left thigh moving forward. Feel the right heel reaching back. Great. Keep feeling the inner lines of the legs here. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bringing hands down, stepping back into plank. Now here in plank, you have the option to lower the knees or take it from a full plank. Take a deep inhale to prepare. Exhale, lower chaturanga, elbows squeezing in. Inhale, cobra, or if you want, you can take an upward dog if your back is ready for that here. Exhale, move back from center into a downward facing dog, relaxing the neck. Maybe you can even look towards the belly button. Take a deep inhale, deep exhale. One more time, three-legged dog. Right leg floats up. Inhale. Exhale, right knee towards the chest. Then step your right foot in between the hands. You can also use your arm, your hand, to step it forward. Bring the back knee down to the floor. If you want, keep the toes tucked or release the toes. And this time, place your hands onto your lower back of the hips, and then lift your rib cage up. Press through your right foot. Inhale, telescope the ribs up, creating space into your lower back. So that's the focus here in this low lunge. Back knee is down, the hips move forward, trying to traction through the lower spine. It can be quite nice as well just to feel for tractioning through the neck. So you feel the space for the back of the neck there. Bring your hands down to the floor. And then heel toe your right foot a bit out to the side. We're going to come to lizard. So you might need to bring the right arm on the inside of the right leg there. So give yourself space. It might even be that you need to move the foot forward. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows and then just hinge forward into the hips. You might be able to bring the forearms down. Now, if you're a bit tight, and especially as this is beginning from the class, it might be that you need a little bit of aid to find ease. Here's your brick, so if you want, you can place it underneath your forearms. It can also be quite nice to have a bit more activation. So by actually bringing your hands forward and then just hovering in a way the chest, maybe the head can come down. Might be a nice way of just getting a bit some activation through the shoulders there. And then you can feel that you can draw the ground in with your fingertips. So a lot of different options. And you might even have some options yourself that you feel, oh, that feels nice. And take those options. Right. Slowly lift back up from your lizard. Bring your hands down to the floor. We're going to step back into plank. Inhale into plank, option of knees down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, moving the hips back, downward facing dog. Right, three-legged dog. On your inhale, send your left leg up. Exhale, drag your left knee in, pull belly in, and step the left foot forward. Again, use your hands if you need to get it there. Bring the back knee down to the floor. Toes can stay tucked or you can release them. Hands go onto the lower back, and then inhale, lift your torso up. Press down to that left foot. On your exhale, you can allow the hips to sink. And on the inhale, lifting the ribs up and away from the hips. Quite nice to use your breath for that, just to really feel the breath lifting through the lower back, through your torso. Right, and bring your hands down. On the inside of the left leg, you can heel toe the left foot a bit out to the side. Lizard pose. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, maybe you can fold a little bit further down, maybe just a bend on the elbows. You can use your brick, you can bring your forearms down, or you can go for the option where you just lengthen your arms just out, fingertips down, and you can just create some engagement through the shoulders. Feels like you can pull the floor in there. Keep pressing down through the big toe of your left foot. Then slowly come back up. Bring your hands down. Now keep your left foot where it is. Just extend your back leg. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, you're going to step your right foot to the outside of your right hand and come down to Malasana squat. So you're going to let the hips sink. Now everyone's squat ability is different depending on the build of our hips, the build of our ankles as well. So Anthony can with some ease here bring his heels down, but you might need a brick there, and actually you can just sit onto your brick there. So I used the brick myself. You just hover there and squat. So you can sit on a little throne there and bring the brick underneath your hips. You can also bring your heels on it. You can even have the hands down for support. Great. Now from here, we're going to bring the right hand towards the left ankle. So you're just going to grab your left ankle. Great. And then if you hook your right shoulder just over that, or on the inside of your left leg. Great. Now you can lean a little bit into your left leg there. Great. And it already starts to create a bit of an opening there through the left side. Now if you want, you can even lift that left arm up. Maybe bring the left hand behind your neck. It might feel nice as a little bit of a brain cradle. And then feel that you can traction your left tricep away from that left hip. You can pull a little bit with your right hand to your left ankle. Let's take that the other way. So now bring the head down, release the arms, left hand towards your right ankle, and then the left shoulder goes on the inside, hooks on the inside of your left leg. And then you can, even if you want, lift the right arm up, creating a nice bit of stretch. And if you want, bend that elbow and bring the hand just behind the head. And that way you can also let the head lean into your hands a little bit. And I feel that we can traction that tricep away from the hip, so creating space in the right side, all the way from hip to that elbow. Right, then release, bring your hands down to the floor. Just lift your hips slightly up, just so that you have enough space to heel to the feet a little bit more parallel. Could be still hip width apart there. Little bend the knees and let your hips sink. Then inhale, push down through the feet and hinge all the way up to standing. Let's send the arms all the way up above the head. Exhale, bring your hands down by your side. Come to the front of the mat. Anthony's there already. If you want, you can bring your feet together. So we're going to come to a mountain posture. Any lower back issues, any instability for the sacrum, take it wider. It gives you a lot more stability. Right. Take a deep inhale. Send your arms over your head, lifting up. Exhale, forward fold, pulling belly in. Take an inhale, come halfway up. It might be that you want to even bring your hands into your shins there. Exhale, hands down, step back into plank, and then lower down, chaturanga. Optional to lower the knees. Inhale, moving ribs forward, cobra upper dog. Exhale, moving back, downward facing dog. Taking a deep inhale. Take a deep exhale and feel that you can move the weight further back. Inhale, pressing down through fingertips. Exhale, relax the neck down. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. And inhale, step or hop the feet forward, halfway up. Exhale, deepening your forward fold, relaxing the neck. If you want, bend your knees there. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Press down for the feet, lift up, send your arms up. Exhale, fold all the way back forward, pulling belly in. Inhale, halfway up, lengthening through the spine, tailbone head connection. Exhale, hands down, step or jump the feet back through plank, chaturanga. Inhale, moving ribs forward, cobra upper dog. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now feel those top of the thighs pushing back. And again, you can bend your knees a little bit so they can feel quite nice. Just as a way of getting that reach back there. Take one more deep inhale. On your exhale, bend your knees. Look forward. Inhale, step or hop the feet forward. Halfway up. Exhale, deepening your forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Press down to the four corners of your feet. Exhale, folding back forward. Inhale, halfway up, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, hands down, step or jump the feet back through plank, chaturanga. Inhale, dragging ribs forward, cobra upper dog. Exhale, moving back, downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out, wrapping the shoulder. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bending knees, looking forward. Inhale, step or jump the feet forward. Halfway up. Exhale, deepening your forward folds. Inhale, send your arms up, reach up. Exhale, mountain posture, hands down by your side. We're going to come to chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend your knees, sit down, and then send the arms all the way up. Now from there, move the top of your thighs further back and feel that you can move your shins forward. From here, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, twist towards the right. So we're moving the left elbow over the right thigh. We keep feeling that twist happening there from the center. Keep sitting back. You can see the left sitting bone with Anthony really nicely moving back there so the hips are square. Take an inhale, come back to center. And exhale, twist from your center towards the left. Right elbow hooks over the left thigh. Keep sending your right knee, right sitting bone back. All right, and then keep feeling that you can breathe into the side ribs. On your inhale, back into chair. And then exhale, fold forward. Take a moment just there in your forward fold. It might even be nice there for Padahastasana, just as a wrist stretch. For that, you're just going to turn your palms upside down and place your palms underneath your feet. Maybe the knees are a little bit bent. If your hands are a little bit sensitive, then of course don't put too much weight in it. But it might even be nice just to massage it a little bit. The more you can relax your hands, actually the more weight it can take. And release your hands back down out in front of your fingers. Take an inhale halfway up just to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hands down. Step or jump the feet back through plank chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale, moving back, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up into a three-legged dog. And on your exhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest and take a giant step forward. Lunge, get the foot there in any ways you need to get it there. On your inhale, lift all the way up into a high lunge, sending the arms up. And we're going to cross the arms over our chest, hands to the opposite shoulder. Great. Now from here, I want you to squeeze the feet a little bit towards each other, like you're trying to scissor the legs, and you feel this real kind of engagement there from the inner thighs. Keep that compression. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, start to twist the body towards the right side. Again, we're working really from the center. Then just go however far you can twist, keeping that compression there from the inner thighs. Now explore with your breath, maybe moving that breath a little bit more into the lower back or into those side ribs. Where can you keep that kind of ease and fluidity in the breath without feeling that we're also starting to compress the breath? Right. Then on your exhale, untwist. Bring your arms all the way back up. And then bring them down into airplane wings. Start to tip forward and then maybe take a little bit of a flight towards your warrior three. Nice, really nice and controlled there, Anthony. Great, now keep moving the ribs forward and then feel that your back leg is energizing back. Press down through the four corners of your right foot. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, fold forward, bring your hands down. It might be an elegant kind of fold, really nice and elegant. And then from there, standing split. Now you can use your hands there onto the floor, and I want you to actually move your weight down into that standing leg and into your hands. It might be that you need to bend your knee a little bit. Great, and then feel that you can lift your core up. So you push down and you lift up through your center. Great. Bend your right knee, keep reaching your left leg back and then lower it down into a lunge nicely with control. Great. Walk the hands back so they're framing that right foot. Now I want you to really push down through your hands. Feel your hips lifting up and then slide that right leg all the way back and up into a three-legged dog. Great, so we're going to work with a little bit of a balancing act here. Now, you can turn that left foot slightly out if you want, taking a little bit like a Charlie Chaplin kind of move there. Right, and it gets you a little bit more stability. It might be that your heel is hovering, which is fine. It might make the balance a bit more tricky, but hey, it gives you extra challenge. You can stay here. If you want, explore pressing to the right hand and send your left hand back to grab your left leg. And then you can pull a bit onto that left leg. Right. And at the same time, you use that compression, that pulling in to lift up from your core even more, and you get this beautifully nice, energetic leg lifting up. Release your left hand back down. And then exhale, lower your right leg down. Square back up into your downward dog. Just let your breath flow. Go to the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, left knee towards chest. Take a giant step forward. Press down through your left foot. Lift up into your lunge. Cross your arms over your chest. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, twisting towards the left. Okay. Keep that little squeeze of your inner thighs like you're trying to pull the mat together. So if you get like a little bit of like a wave into the mat there. Nice. And use your breath to explore this twist, the space that you have internally. Exhale, untwist. Great, then release your arms and actually bring them down into airplane wings. Start to hinge forward and then move your weight forward like an airplane into your warrior 3. If you want, you can let your right hip roll down a little bit more and feel the inner right thigh rolling up. Keep your chest moving forward. On your exhale, slowly fold, tip forward. Hands can reach the floor before your head does. And then come into a standing split. Right, now it could be quite nice there to bend the elbows. It might be that you want to have a brick there underneath your hands. Anthony doesn't need that here, but you can place your hands onto that brick. Push down through your foot in your hands. And on your exhale, you feel your belly lifting, you feel your hip lifting. Now from that little bend in your standing leg, you're going to reach back to the right leg and then slowly lower it back down. Walk the hands a little bit back so they're framing that left foot. Lift the hips up so you can slide that left leg all the way back and up. We can turn the right heel slightly down to the floor. It might be that you need to reset that to find a better balance. And then if you want, you can add that right hand reaching back and grabbing. It can be the top of the leg as well that you can grab. It might not be the ankle, but Anthony has a space for that here. Keep pressing through your left hand. You feel that length to the left side of the body. Right, release the right hand back down, really nice and controlled, and then lower the left foot back down. Now from here, on your exhale, feel the belly lifting. Right. Then on your inhale, step your right foot straight away, all the way forward in between the hands. So we're going to skip that three-legged dog and just take that step straight away there. So we're using our abdominals a bit more. Inhale, come all the way up, and then turn the left heel down for warrior 2. It might be that the hips open a bit more. It might be that your hips need to go a little bit towards that front leg. That's okay. Bring your arms out to the side. And we're going to take an archer warrior. Send your right arm all the way up. Turn your palm towards the midline, bend your right elbow. Great. Option 1, left hand can grab that right elbow and you can feel that wrapping of the shoulder. It might be nice there just to feel the outer arm wrapping around. You can also bring your left arm behind your back. And maybe it meets the other hand. Maybe it has to grab the t-shirt, or you can use a sock or a strap there. Right. Keep that softness in the neck. So remember, keep feeling for ease. Might even be you want to relax the jaw a bit. Find space between the shoulder blades. Now for this next move, it might require you to let go a little bit of that bind, just to ease that bind a little bit out. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, we're going to fold into the hips, into a humble warrior. But we keep that bind, even though it loosens a bit. That's absolutely fine. So it might be that from the gripping of the hands, you go to gripping of the t-shirt. Press down through your feet, so you're really trusting your feet to carry you. Release the neck. Deep breaths. Then release your hands down to the floor. And then use your hands, press down so you can turn your right foot in, coming to a straddle. And then actually heel toe your feet closer together so you have a much smaller straddle, say just a bit wider than your hips there. And then on your exhale, fold forward. Now bring your hands between your feet. And we're going to come to a bit of a twist here. It's called ayak biter, this pose. So we're going to bring the right hand to the left ankle. Right into the left ankle. Great. Now your left arm is going to go underneath and it finds the right arm. So now your arms are crossed. Your right arm is on top. So your right arm is on top. Great. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, pulling with your left arm on that right leg, and it starts to twist the body. Now, it might be just a tiny twist. Explore with your breath. Maybe you can get that twist a bit more from your center. Maybe it's a bit more of an opening into the right side of the ribs, as you can see here with Anthony. The head can dip under even. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, slowly release. It's a bit of mobility in the shoulders here as well. We can release the arms here. Right, take an inhale, come halfway up. And then exhale, walk the hands back to the front of the mat. You can soften the knees so you can pivot your legs as well. So you're back into that lunge. Bring your left hand down. Heel toe your right foot a bit out to the side. Coming to a twisting lunge. Right arm reaches up. Great. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, you can feel the right side of the belly, the right side of the ribs rolling away from the right thigh. You can soften the neck. Then press down through your left hand. You might want to take it here into a side plank. So for that, you can roll the outer left heel down to the floor. It might be that you want to take that foot just a bit back and have it a bit tapping on the floor. It might be as Anthony is showing, legs on top of each other. Or if you want, you can have the floating leg. So you can let the leg float up. Nice. And you have lots of different variations. Anthony is showing, foot onto the thigh. Right, now from here, we're gonna lower the right foot back down and find plank. So you're gonna bring the foot down, you're gonna bring the right hand down and find plank. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Of course, you can bring your knees down to modify. Inhale, cobra, upper dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Right. Take a deep inhale. Take a deep exhale. Breathing in. And breathing out. One more deep inhale. On the exhale, feel the belly lifting. Then step your left foot forward. Spiral the right heel down. Come to warrior two. Great. Well, we're going to go warrior two with the archer here. So we're going to go with the left arm all the way up. Spiral the hand in and bend your elbow. Option one, right hand onto the left elbow. And then just feel, rather than just pulling into the flexibility, if you have it, to find that wrapping action there. So you feel the outer armpit wrapping around, you feel the tricep wrapping around and lifting up. Option two is right arm around the back there, and you can use your t-shirt to bind. You can use any means you have. Maybe you've got a long ponytail to serve as your strap. We have actual strap, you can use that as well. Don't get too concerned with the bind itself. Right, you might need to loosen it here a little bit. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, start to fold from your hips into a humble warrior with that archer arms. Great. You might find, in order to get a bit more mobility into the hips, you might need to release a little bit if your shoulders are a bit tight there off that bind. Press down through your feet. Keep feeling your left thigh moving away from the left waist. Bring your hands down to the floor. And then just lift your chest a little bit, spiral your left foot in, turn your left foot in into straddle. Feet are slightly turned towards each other, and then you can heel toe your feet a bit closer, get a bit smaller into your straddle. Folding forward. This time, left hand towards your right ankle. And you're going to bring your right arm underneath your left. So you're grabbing your foot. Now, if you still can't reach your feet, move the feet closer together. You can bend your knees, of course. So you now have your left arm on top, right? Left arm on top. Right. So you're going to pull a little bit with that left hand and then pull your right hand onto that leg so you can start to twist the spine. So you feel that the right side of the body rolls under and the left side of the body rolls open. If you feel that you're stuck and you can't go anywhere, try exploring twisting towards the other way. It might be that you have the other arm on top. Maybe the head can go underneath that left arm. And even a tiny twist, that's absolutely fine. You're exploring the space in the spine there, your core and your shoulders. On your exhale, release your twist. Bring your hands down, just underneath your shoulders. Inhale, move your chest away from the hips. Create space there. Exhale, a little bend the knees. Start to walk the hands towards the front of the mat. Pivot your legs. And then from there, step back into plank. Take a deep inhale into plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upper dog. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment just to breathe. If you want, you can walk the hands a little bit closer in towards your feet, making it a little bit smaller. Right. Now from here, thread your right hand towards your left ankle and maybe see if you can grab it. It might be that it's better to grab even the top if you feel that you don't have so long arms. You might want to reach the top it a little bit closer in. Press the left hand and then feel that the left side ribs can slide away from the shoulder. So you're actually creating space there. The shoulder blade slides down to your left ear. Send the left sitting bone back. And then from there, swap hands. Right hand down first, keep neck soft, and then swap left hand, finds the ankle. Send your right sitting bone back. Press your right hand down. Feel your right shoulder blade sliding down as the ribs lift up. Release your left hand. On your exhale, little pull in of the belly. Then step your right foot forward between your hands. Great. Now from here, finding a position as if we were going to move into our warrior one. So if you bring your left heel down, it might be that you need to take it in a bit and square the hips. Now we're going to come to a twisting triangle. So for this, I just need you to find a bit more square into the hips. Might be that you need to heel toe the right foot further out to the side in order to find that. The back heel is down, but we still feel that there's this lift from the inner arch of your left foot. Now bring your left hand a little bit closer in towards your right foot. Start on the inside. You might need to place a brick underneath that hand. Bring your right hand onto your lower back. Right. And now just feel for your sacrum, nudge the sacrum back, lengthen through your spine. It might be that you want to choose to go a little bit further. So maybe you want to bring the left hand towards the ankle or maybe on the outside of the foot. Really just feel what your spine likes here. Every moment is different and the body will feel different. So you might need to take a different kind of option here. And then it feels really nice if you move your right sitting bone back. And I just feel that opening into your side body by spiraling the chest towards the right side. If you want, the right arm can come up. Now keep feeling the top of your thighs moving back in space, whilst the crown of the head is reaching forward. Keep feeling this little lift there from the inside of your left leg. Bring your right hand down towards, actually bring it on your lower back here, Anthony. Great. And then you're going to reach the left hand a little bit further forward, a little bend in your knees, just to move your weight into your right leg. We're going to come to a twisting half moon. You might need to take that brick with you there, just to find a little bit more support. So you're going to bring a brick, maybe underneath the left hand, shooting forward there. And then keep feeling that left leg reaching back there. Nice. Right. And if you want, as Anthony is doing, the right arm can come up. Now feel that you can just lift the left hip just a little bit there. And you feel the chest moving away from your right hip. Bring your right hand back down to the floor. And then step your left foot next to your right foot. Maybe a little bit of space if you want there. Bend your knees, sit the hips down, and then bring your hands onto your thighs. Lift your chest up into a supported chair. So you're using your hands to create space through your lower back and to sink the sitting bones down. And from here, bring your hands in front of your heart. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, twist towards your right, and then bring your left hand over your left thigh. You can grab your left thigh there. So your left hand over your right thigh, sorry. Mixed my sides up there. Nice. Now you can stay here holding on to that right thigh there with your left hand. It might be that you have the space to bind. So in that case, the left hand can go a little bit more onto your right outer buttock. So you're getting the elbow a bit more over, a bit more of an internal rotation to the shoulder. And it might be even that you can bind there. So you can bring that left arm over or underneath, and then you can find that bind. So the left arm goes over on the outside of the right, and you can find your bind there. If you want, if you can. Great. You could also stay here. So there's now two different options. So if you got that bind, you come up into a bird of paradise. If you want, you can grab your left thigh, and you come up to a standing balancing twist. You're just grabbing that right thigh, and you lift up. I realize I am confusing you a bit with my right thigh and left thigh, but it's your right leg that you have lifted, and you're twisting your chest towards the right side. If you're taking a bird of paradise, you'll be in your bind, and then you bend your knee to lift up, and your right leg lengthens out. You might even lift the chest there. So that's our two variations. Right, so slowly release the bind, release your arms, place the foot down firmly. Take a moment just to unravel back into mountain posture. Close your eyes even, tune back into the breath. Remember to find that ease again, even after balancing on one leg into a weird kind of binding contortion. Just finding the ease. Open your eyes. Take an inhale, send your arms up above your head, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump the feet back through plank chaturanga. Lowering all the way down. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale, moving back, downward facing dog. Little lift of the belly there. And then let's inhale to step the left foot all the way forward. We're going to turn that back heel down to the floor. It might be that you need to take it in a bit. We just want to feel that we can square the hips a bit more. And it might be that you need to take a wider position. Maybe the foot needs to go out to the side a bit more. So feel what works for your hips. Great. Now we're going to come to a twisting triangle. Walk the right hand in towards your left foot. Maybe have your block at the ready. You can go a little bit further if you want as well. Place it onto that anchor or to the outside, maybe with a brick there. Left hand to lower back. Square the hips, great. Nudge the sacrum back. Find that length through the spine by sending the crown of the head away from the sacrum. And then we start to open the chest there. Feel that the chest can move away from the hip. Feel the top of your thighs moving back. Maybe if you want, you can even lift your arm all the way up. Keep feeling the right thigh lifting up and then push back in space. Bring your left hand down onto your lower back. Great, now from here, you might need to walk the right foot further in. We're going to reach the right hand forward. You might need to take your brick with you there. Put it in place, a bit out in front, just somewhere to reach. Then come forward, moving your weight into your left foot, into that half moon twist. Left hand can be on the sacrum, so you can use that to find that length. Open the chest towards the left side. Keep lifting the right thigh up, whilst the right hip spirals down. So there's these two different actions. Bring your left hand down to the ground and bring your right leg down to the floor. Maybe a little bit of hips apart or feet apart. Now from here, bend your knees and we're going to place the hands onto the thighs and come to a supported Utkatasana, supported chair. Keep sinking down with your sitting bones. Bring your hands together now in front of your heart. We're going to twist towards the left side again, twisting from your center. Now your right hand, I'm going to try and say my directions right this time. Right hand to the outside of your left thigh. And it's fine to grab and hold there. I'm just going to give you more options for if you want more options. But if option one serves you, stay there. If you want, the right elbow can go over the left thigh and the right hand can go into that outer left hip, outer left glute. You might feel that you can get the right arm further under. Go underneath that left leg. Then the left arm goes around the back and it meets. So I'm hobbling around there to show you this bind. Now if you are in the option one, you're grabbing your thigh, you're going to lift that left leg up. And then from there, the left arm can go around the back still. You're twisting towards the left side. You're in a standing balancing twist. If you are still there in your bind, you can explore lifting up, finding that balance, maybe with the knee bent, but the bind is still there. Lengthening the left leg. It might even be there that you can open the chest and lift up a bit more. Keep finding that ease whilst you're balancing on one leg. It might be that you need to hop a little bit, tap the foot down. Exhale, let's release. Release the bind, bring the foot down. Take a moment to just stand and unravel. Noticing is your breath still moving with ease, or if there is a little bit of pressure in it. Are you pushing it? Bring it back. So in each of these, even though it's a flow class and there is a drive, there is a bit of heat starting to come in, there's still that feeling that we also want to find that ease. We want to find balance. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump the feet back through plank, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra Upward Dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees and look forward. Inhale, step or jump to come to sitting. So we're going to step or jump the feet forward. Nicely, Anthony's hopping there into a cross-legged position to sit down. You can also bring your feet just forward and then sit down. Great. So we're going to come to let's start in a cross-legged position. And then we're going to bring our right leg up. So if you, with both hands, just grab your right leg. And just in any means that feels nice to you, you're just going to sort of sway your leg around. So just caressing it. And you're just exploring that external rotation by flexing that foot, by opening really into that hip. It might even feel nice to explore with your right hand just onto the tissue there of your right thigh, and then feeling that you can move the tissue to the outside. So you're wrapping the tissue to the outside, just to really emphasize that external rotation. Great. Now it can be really nice just to stay here, just grab that foot and ankle and move it towards your chest. You might feel, if you release your right arm, that you can bring your right arm through the gap there. A bit like, I don't know, like an elephant's tail or something, what you used to do, like a bind like that. And then you can bring your right hand out to the side. Just placing it down there. Now it's just about exploring the space you have into your hip, and as well finding a sense of lifting from your core. So you want to really use your breath. You might be a bit more rounded here, and you might just work onto that hip rotation. You might find that you can start to lift the lower ribs a bit away from the hips. So a bit like a ventilator or something, where you feel your ribs moving up and down. It might be that you can start to press your right arm more into that inner right thigh and press the thigh against your right arm. And it might be that from there we can take compass pose. So we can lengthen the leg. And as a final option, we can even look underneath the left arm. So it's a bit of mobility of the shoulder for that and a lot of mobility for the hips. Again, you can do the same thing here. So you can press that right arm and the right leg together, create that compression, and then feel that lift. So the foot on the top is just like an extra little cherry. Sometimes a dessert is even nice without a cherry. So you're just exploring the different flavors here. Right, slowly release. Then from here, let's bring the left leg out in front and just place your right foot down to the floor. We're going to come to Madhyasana. Right, so you want to just feel that your sitting bones can be down. Because that right foot is down to the floor, your right hip might lift up a bit. That's okay. Lift your arms all the way up for a moment. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, just fold as far forward as you can. And then place your hands down there. Now Anthony has the space to move further than that right leg. It might be that you're finding that that's a bit too far. What could be really nice is just to hug your arms around that right leg and you're hugging your belly against that leg. It's a really nice way of just opening the hip. And maybe you even want to feel that you can lean back and lift that leg up a bit. If you're like Anthony, you can go a bit further. Maybe take your arms wider and then you can press your right arm against your right shin and your shin back forward against your arm. So again, you're creating that same kind of compression as you did in compass. Nice. And it might be there that you want to bind. So you're going to roll the shoulders forward, rolling your thumbs in and back. Then the arms can go around the back and you can find a bind. It has a bit to do as well with the mobility of your shoulders, with that internal rotation, and also the length of your arms, of course. The width of the body as well. So don't worry if the bind is not really working for you. You're working with your unique body. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, release of your binding. And then lift slowly your torso back up. Take a moment just to feel the floor underneath you. And from there you can bend your legs back in. If you come back to a cross-legged position for a moment, just to go towards the other side. So you're finding your sitting bones, sitting down, your hips are open a little bit here. You might even want to sit on a brick if you feel that feels nice for your hips. We'll venture to the other side. Bring your left leg up, and then you're just exploring your hip rotation. This is your practice. So really just use it to explore space you have in your hips. Especially if you feel your hips are a bit tight, we can sometimes make that such a big thing in our practice. You just explore your hip mobility, even if it's a bit more limited. There's lots to find and lots to feel. All right. Right hand grabs the left foot. And the left arm ventures through that gap that you just created, so it goes underneath the left leg. And then you can place your left hand out to the side. And again, it might be that you're a bit more limited there in the hip rotation. What's nice is if you can just push your arm, your left arm and your left thigh against each other. You feel that compression and then feel that you can lift away from the hips. Now you might explore there, lifting the foot up a little bit. And then maybe you can bring the head under there. Press the arm against the leg, you press the leg against the arm, and feel that the right side of ribs can open. Slowly release. Do that with full awareness, so we're not just like a slingshot, slinging that foot away. Nice. And then from there, Vinyasa. Now we're going to bring the left foot down. Bit of space between the left foot and that long right leg. So your right leg is out in front, left knee is bent. Take an inhale, send your arms up and just feel that length through your spine. Exhale, slowly fold. And you can place your hands down to the ground. So you can push a bit with your hands to find a bit more length there through the front of the body as well. It might be there that you want to go for that option where you're just hugging that leg in. Where it's like a nice bit of leaning against that leg. You can even lift it. You're working on your hip mobility there. If you want, you can go for arms a bit wider, pressing the arm against the leg. Quite nice as a way of really feeling the thigh bone moving forward and the arm moving back. Or if you want, go for your bind. Rotating shoulders in, thumbs down and back, and then wrapping. You can still press that left shin against your left arm. Where can you move your breath in this pose, especially if you have that compression? Where is there space to balloon the breath into? And from there, release your bind. Use your hands on the floor just to lift the chest, slowly easing out of that position. And then just lengthen your legs out a little bit. Move your hips forward a bit by placing your hands down, just shifting your hips forward. And then from there, we're going to slowly come and lay down onto the ground so you can roll down as Anthony is doing. Nice. Let your arms rest down by your side. Walk your feet in a little bit. We're going to move into bridge. Press down through the feet around, hip width apart. Can be a bit more if you want. Tuck tailbone, lift the hips all the way up. Inhale. Right, now really use your first bridge here to really engage into your legs. So get the four corners of your feet pressed down. Feel the inner thighs rolling down, the outer thighs rolling up. And then feel your sitting bones reaching forward. Take an inhale, feel your side ribs broadening. And exhale, feel your tailbone and sitting bones reaching further forward. One more deep inhale. Exhale, slowly rolling down, upper back, middle back, lower back, and the hips. Take a moment just to feel that support the ground and just simply lay down. Taking a moment just to engage with that stillness, especially after moving around, having to balance on one leg, all these twists and contortions. Just to simply let your weight settle. Just notice the feelings, the sensations that are there. Might feel nice to slide your shoulder blades down a little bit more and to maybe feel that the head can move a little bit further away from the base of the neck. And then from there, we're going to take one more back bend. That could be another bridge. If you feel your back is ready and your shoulders are ready for a wheel, then you're very welcome to take a wheel. But again, just be honest with how the spine is feeling. We've done a lot of twisting and hip work, but you might not feel that the back can go into a deep extension there. So in that case, stay with the bridge, just as we did. And so you can choose if you want, you can do a wheel, but if you feel you want to stay with the bridge, you can do that as well for your back. Right. When you're ready, press down through your feet. You're lifting up. Nice. It might be here that you want to interlink your fingers if you're going for your bridge. Anthony is going to go for his wheel here. So his hands are going next to the ears. He keeps that sort of hugging sensation of the shoulders there. Press down to the feet. And then when you're ready, lift all the way up. Press down through those four corners of the feet. That's very important. Keep those legs turning on. It might be that they need the feet a bit wider or even slightly turned out. Sometimes that actually gives more space for that back bend. So it's okay if the feet go slightly out. Nice. Nice deep breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly lowering down. If you're in your bridge, you can roll down. If you're in your wheel, the head comes down and then slowly roll down. Again, just take a moment to lay onto the ground with the knees bent so you have space in your lower back there. Can have some space into that lower back just so it's not in contact necessarily with the ground. Just take a moment to simply lay. Especially off the back bend, so you can have a lot of kind of sensations stirred up. Feelings, thoughts, reactions. Just simply let everything sort of settle. And just watch what sort of keeps floating about. Right, now from here, let's lengthen out that left leg. Place it down. And then see if you can lift your right leg all the way up. Now with your hands, you can grab your thigh there. Right, and then you can press your thigh actually back a little bit into your hands. So you're creating a bit of resistance there. Right, now really feel that the heel can start to reach up and you can flex your toes back towards your hip like Anthony is showing here. You can do the same thing with that leg that's down to the floor, so you can feel the heel reaching away from the hip socket there. Nice. And from here, you can bring your left hand towards the right leg. Just go over it. And then from there, you can send your right leg over to the left side. So we're going to move into a spinal twist there. You might be able to do that with a long leg. It might need to bend. That's absolutely fine. And you might find I prefer having some proppage underneath that leg there. So you can have the leg long and really feel like a reach. So the right foot reaches over, the right hand reaches towards the right side, or slight bend or full bend into that knee. Again, you feel what works for your body. I'm trying to create more awareness in our yoga practice. That's the biggest thing. So feeling these things, just noticing with what's happening this very moment. What are the feelings? What are the sensations? Can I go further? Do I need to actually go back a bit? And from there, bend your right knee. You bring your right knee in towards the belly. And you slowly roll back. Right. Then lengthen your right leg out. And then lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. So start with a long leg. Hands can grab the thigh. You might need to use a long sock or a strap here. You can also bend that knee a little bit. So again, you're working with your anatomy and how the body's feeling for you there. You can flex the foot a bit, toes toward the hip. Then bring your right arm across the top of your leg, left leg. And then the left leg can reach all the way up and out. And you can take that spinal twist. You might feel that you need to bend the knee a little bit. If you send your left arm into the left side a bit more, you might feel reaching the left foot further over to the right side and the left hand reaching further back towards the left side. So you really create a little bit more rotation there. It can be quite nice to create some space there into those side muscles, into your QL, but you actually want to feel that the hip, that left hip, can move down a bit. So you can even do that with your hand. You can have it into the corner there of your hip there, just where the thigh meets the hip, and you push it down in order to create length there. Release your arms, bend your left knee back in towards your belly. And then from there, let's bring the feet down to the floor. Couple of different options. You can just have your knees bent and let maybe your knees fall together. So it creates a bit more space into the lower back, little bit of space into the front, the thighs as well. So it might just be a nice place to rest. See what feels nice for your back. You might actually feel that it's beneficial to hug the knees in and to close in a bit more around the spine. For me, usually I like, especially after doing some back bends, to actually just have my feet down to the floor. But again, if you want, hug the knees in. Let your shoulder blades slide down away from your ears. And if you want here, you can slowly start to lengthen the legs out into Shavasana. If there's any uncomfortable feeling in the lower back, if you feel tension, if you feel a bit of pulling into the front of the hips or into the lower back, you can place something underneath your knees. So have your knees a bit bent. You can have 2 bricks, maybe. Or place a roll like a blanket or some pillows underneath the knees. I'm just going to bring this underneath your knees, Anthony. And you still want to relax the legs, so it's really underneath the knees. And then it creates maybe a little bit more relaxation in the lower back. Close your eyes. Feel that you can let your weight settle down into the ground. Let it sink. And really just allowing that support of the ground to take your weight. So there's nothing left for us to do other than just be. And least amount of effort just to stay here, to stay present. At the same time, tuning into that place of relaxing more, sinking further, letting go. Notice if there's anywhere in the body, anywhere where maybe you can bring a little bit more attention. Anywhere where you could let go a little bit more. So you might feel that there's still a place where you're just gripping a little bit. By moving the awareness around the body, feel where you can soften that little bit more. Just connecting to this moment right now. Everything that's there. Slowly start to move your fingers, move your toes. Waking the body back up. It might feel nice to bend the knees, reach your arms over the head, or just to gently twist the head a little bit. Roll towards the right side, curl up to the right side. Now keep that intention of ease. So in the easiest way, come back up to sitting. So we're not having to work our neck muscles. Use your hands and then come back to a cross-legged position. Just feeling your sitting bones connecting down to the ground, head above your tailbone. Feeling gravity moving through the skeleton. Feeling the breath without you having to push it. Come and go. Feeling the space around you and the space internally. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart, and with consciousness, open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. Thank you, Ettedy, for demoing so well. Nice.